Good morning. I'm Dr. Webb, welcoming you to At Home with APS. Today we will focus on English language arts and math. Before we begin, here's a shout out to students and staff of Juvenile Detention Center and Vision Quest Continuation School from Principal Megan Miller. Principal Megan Miller and her dog Shenanigan are reading the book entitled Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes by James Dean and Kimberly Dean. Oh, I wonder what that book's about. It sounds interesting. Why don't you stay tuned at this point, and we'll be back in just a second with more from At Home with APS.
Good morning, literacy learners. This is Miss Maggie, and I'm a teacher support specialist with Albuquerque Public Schools. I'm here again today to practice more letters and words with you. We're also going to be working on some sounds, specifically with words that rhyme. We're going to keep working on rhyme because it is an important part of how language sounds and how we work with words. I have a game to teach you today, and it's a classic game that you might already be aware of. It's a memory match game. I'm going to show you the materials that you need for this game for today. One thing that you'll want to have are the directions for the game. I have them printed here for me to reference as I teach you how to play this game. They will be available on our website. Along with this game, there will be a link to this memory match game that has been created by the Florida Center of Reading Research that is available for anybody to print and use at home. The other resource that you'll need is you will need a pair of scissors. You may want a grown-up to help you cut out the cards as you're working on your rhymes. With your scissors and the piece of paper, grown-ups, if your student has the scissors, please help them cut the cards out. Take the scissors, and you're going to cut along the lines of the cards, just like this. Go ahead and take your time. Each card will be a little rectangle that you can use for this game. Your card will have a picture on it that will represent a word that you can use for this rhyming game. For example, this is the word leg. Say leg. Leg rhymes with another word. It's actually another card on this sheet. It rhymes with this word. Egg. Leg rhymes with egg. This is because leg and egg have the same sound in the middle and the same sound at the end. That's what makes these words rhyme. On your memory match game instructions, you can play this by yourself. You can also play this with anybody who's in your household, whether it's a grown-up or a sibling. Who knows, maybe you can even teach your pet how to play. with this game, what you're going to do is you are going to take your cards, take the picture side, and you are going to place them face down, meaning that you won't see the picture at all. I have my cards laid out. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what happens when you turn over the cards. You'll lay out all of your cards, remember, face down, where you cannot see the pictures. Then you will take 2 cards and you will turn them face up, where you can see the pictures. Here are examples of 2 cards when I turn them face up. One picture is tie. Say the word tie. That's right. Now say this word, pie. Excellent. Think about these 2 words, tie, pie. Do they rhyme? That's right. They do rhyme. They have the same sound in the middle and at the end. Because these 2 cards rhyme, you can take them and put them to the side. Because you have found 2 matching cards. Now, let's say your turn comes around again. You pick up 2 more cards and turn them face up, where you can see the pictures. Here's one. This card is fish. Say fish. That's right. My second card is sun. Say sun. Think about those 2 words. Fish, sun. Do they rhyme? That's right. They do not rhyme. They do not have the same sound in the middle or at the end. Fish and sun do not rhyme. Because they do not rhyme, you take the cards and place them back face down on your table. Let's try 2 more cards. The first card is toe. Say toe. The second card says bow. Say bow. Do toe and bow rhyme? That's right. They do rhyme. They have the same sound in the middle and at the end. We can take these 2 cards and put them to the side. Let's try one more set of cards. My first card is the number 1. Say 1. My second card is nose. Say nose. Do 1 and nose rhyme? That's right. They do not rhyme. They do not have the same sound in the middle or at the end. Remember, because those words do not rhyme, you will take the cards, turn them face down, and put them back until you find matching words that do rhyme. You would continue playing this game until all cards have been played. Let's go ahead and move into practicing our letters. I'm going to go ahead and come back to my chart here, which has our manuscript lines. If you have your manuscript paper at home, please feel free to pull it out so you can practice with me. We're going to practice the 10 letters that we practiced on Wednesday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the letter name, the keyword, and the sound, so that way you can practice saying those with me. Then we will skywrite it together. Are you ready? Great! Listen to the first one. A, apple, a. Now you try. That's right. A, apple, a. Lift your arm up. Let's get ready to skywrite. Here we go. Very good. That was lowercase a and uppercase A. Let's try the next one. M, man, Your turn. That's right. M, man, Let's skywrite it. Now uppercase. Very good. Let's try our third one. I, it, I. Your turn. That's right. I, it, I. Let's skywrite it. Lowercase first. Let's try our fourth letter. F, fun, f. F, fun, f. Your turn. That's right. F, fun, f. Let's skywrite it. Remember, this one does not start on the line for the lowercase letter. Lift up your arm. Ready? Here we go. Now uppercase. Very good. Let's practice our fifth letter. E, ed, e. Your turn. E, ed, e. Let's skywrite it. Ready? Here we go. Now uppercase. Let's keep going. B, bat, b. B, bat, b. Your turn. That's right. B, bat, b. Let's skywrite it. Very good. Let's keep going. U, up, a. U, up, a. Your turn. That's right. U, up, a. Let's skywrite it. Three more. T, top, t. T, top, t. Your turn. All right. T, top, t. Let's skywrite it. Two more. O, octopus, ah. Your turn. O, octopus, ah. Let's skywrite it. One more time. N, nut, n. Your turn. N, nut, n. Let's skywrite it. Very good. Thank you for practicing that with me. We're going to do one more quick activity to show how you can further practice these letters. We're going to make some cards today. I'm going to come back to my table so I can show you the cards that I made. All you need for this activity is a piece of paper and 2 different colored utensils. Colored pencils, crayons, markers, any of them work. I'll show you an example of the cards that I made, and then we'll practice them together on my chart. Here is one example of a letter card that I made. I took the note card and I cut it into a couple of pieces, into rectangles. And using one color for consonants, for example, blue, I wrote one of the consonants, T. Can you say T? Very good. Oops. Using another color, you'll want to write the vowels. For example, I have this card that I used with a different colored marker and a note card. This is the vowel I. Can you say I? Very good. I'm going to show you how you can take these cards and you can use them to build words. I'm going to come to my chart here and I'll make those letter cards a little bit bigger so you can see them. Here is one of my letter cards. Do you remember what this letter is? That's right, it's F. Now I'm going to put up another letter card. Do you remember what this letter is? That's right, it's A. Here's my third letter card. Do you remember what this letter is? That's right, it's N. Each of these letters have their own sound, and when we blend them together, we can actually decode or read the word. Try this one with me. Listen to each sound, and then we will blend it together. Ready? Here we go. A, n. Now let's see if we can blend those sounds together to create the word. A, n. A little bit faster. Fan. What's the word? Fan. That's right. You can do this same activity with your letter cards. You can create real words, or you can create make-believe words. All of these words can help you practice your decoding skills for reading, or you could also say a word and then encode the word, which is to spell it. Next time, we will practice some more letters of the alphabet, and we will bring together some more letter cards to help build practicing letters and words. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hi students, my name is Miss Rachel. I'm here today to read a story with you and practice some vocabulary. So we're going to focus today on how can you learn the meaning of new words at home. The book I have for you today is called The Word Collector. It's written by Peter Reynolds and it's published by Scholastic. In this book, there is a boy named Jerome who loves words. I love words too. As we read today, think about some words that you love. Collectors collect things. Some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. Others collect rocks. Some collect art. Some collect bugs. Others collect baseball cards. Some people collect comic books. And Jerome, what did he collect? Jerome collected words. I see here he's holding the word wonder. If you were here with us earlier this week, we read a story about the word wonder. He collected words he heard. My trip to Peru was perfectly pleasant. Certain words caught his attention. He collected words he saw. Certain words jumped out at him. He collected words he read. Certain words popped off the page. Short and sweet words, two-syllable treats, and multi-syllable words that sounded like little songs. Kaleidoscope, wonderful, symphony. There were words he did not know the meaning of at first, but they were marvelous to say. There were words whose sounds were perfectly suited to their meaning. I see here Jerome wrote a word and then drew a picture of what that word meant. Jerome filled his scrapbooks with more and more of his favorite words. Jerome's collections grew. He began organizing them. Dreamy, science, sad, action, poetic. One day, while transporting them, Jerome slipped and his words went flying. As he began to pick them up, he noticed his collection had become jumbled. Big words next to little words, sad words next to dreamy words. Jerome began stringing words together. Words he had not imagined being side by side. He used his words to write poems. He used his poems to make a song. They moved. They delighted. Some of his simplest words were his most powerful. I understand. I'm sorry. Thank you. You matter. Jerome eagerly collected more and more of his favorite words. The more words he knew, the more clearly he could share with the world what he was thinking, feeling, and dreaming. One breezy afternoon, Jerome climbed the highest hill, pulling a wagon packed with his word collection. He smiled as he emptied his collection of words into the wind. He saw children in the valley below, scurrying about collecting words from the breeze. Jerome had no words to describe how happy that made him.
Reach for your own words. Tell the world who you are and how you will make it better, by Peter Reynolds. Did you like that story? Me too. My favorite part was when Jerome drew pictures about the words that he liked. What was your favorite part? In this story, Jerome wrote down words he saw, read, or heard. You can do this at home too. All you need is a paper and a pencil. With a grown-up, you can help cut up a piece of paper to make smaller pieces like Jerome had. Start by writing words you love. I have some slips of paper here, and I'm going to write down some words from this book that I loved. The first word I noticed that Jerome wrote about was the word marvelous here on let me find the page. Here he wrote that words sounded marvelous. I'm going to record that word down. And I'm going to add it to the chart. The second word I liked from this book was transport. This was right before Jerome lost all of his words. My third favorite word from this story was imagine. Because I love to imagine different things. So I'm going to add this word to my chart also. Now, I also brought here a plastic bag with me because at home you can start collecting words in a bag or a jar that you hear, see, or read. If you don't know what the word means, ask a grown-up to explain or give examples. Just like Jerome, you can draw pictures of what your words mean. Maybe you can make a story using some of your new words. At home, after you have collected some words like I did, you can play a game I like to call statues. After you have collected some words, put them in a bag and draw a word out. Think about what that word means. Use your body to make a statue to show the meaning of the word. Remember, statues cannot move or talk. So if I were playing at home, I was thinking about the word imagine. If I were to make a statue of the word imagine, I might do something like this. If you are playing with somebody else at home, you can have them guess what your word was. As you collect words, think about which word is your favorite. Why is it your favorite? Thank you for joining us on an episode of At Home with APS. We'll see you again soon.
Hi, I'm Mrs. B, and today we are going to work out our brains. We need to keep our brains strong. So we are going to work out our brains with focus power. Every time I say focus power, we're going to put on our focus binoculars. What does focus mean? Focus means we are working hard to listen, follow directions, and not give up when something is hard to do. When do we use focus power? Well, we can use it when we want to listen carefully to a story or learn new words of a song. We can use focus power When we're trying to tie our shoes, we need to make sure that we're doing each step correctly. We can use focus power when we're finishing an activity or a project, or maybe when we're feeling tired or frustrated and we have to work extra hard to listen or finish what we're doing. There's some things we can do to help us focus. Maybe you already do these things. We can cover our ears to keep out noise. We can put on our focus binoculars and point them to whoever we're trying to listen to or whatever we're trying to work on or do. We can go to a quiet place to finish our work. We can use active listening. We sit still and we keep our eye on who is talking so we can listen carefully to what's being said. So let's play a game to work out our brains and use focus power. So we're going to learn a chant, and I'm going to say it 3 times with you, and then we'll add on a step. So the first time, I'll say it. My hat has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. If it didn't have 3 corners, then it wouldn't be my hat. Okay, this time, I want you to repeat it after me. Wait until I tell you to repeat. Ready? My hat has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. If it didn't have 3 corners, then it wouldn't be my hat. Okay, this time let's say it together. Ready? My hat has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. If it didn't have 3 corners, then it wouldn't be my hat. Okay, our next step, we're going to use our focus power, and instead of saying the word hat, we are going to point to our head like this. Okay? Let's try it out. Okay, I'm going to put my focus powers on. My has 3 corners. 3 corners has my. If it didn't have 3 corners, then it wouldn't be my. How did you do? Okay, let's try that one more time. So remember, use your focus power, and instead of saying the word hat, we're going to point to our head. Let's try that again. My has 3 corners. 3 corners has my. If it didn't have 3 corners, then it wouldn't be my. Great. Okay, we're going to add on. This time, instead of saying the number 3, we're going to hold up fingers like this. One hand will hold 1 finger, and another hand will hold 2 fingers. So we have 1, 2, 3 fingers. Okay, ready? And we're still going to point to our heads instead of saying the word hat. Okay, here we go. Focus powers on. My has corners. Corners has my. If it didn't have corners, then it wouldn't be my. How is that? Let's try that again. Okay, ready? Focus powers on. My has corners. Corners has my. If it didn't have, then it wouldn't be my. How'd you do? Okay, one more step. Ready? This time, instead of saying the word corners, we're going to point to our elbows like this. Okay, point to our elbows instead of say corners. We're still going to point to our head instead of saying hat. And we're still going to hold up 3 fingers all together with 2 hands instead of saying 3. Okay, ready? My has my. If it didn't have, then it wouldn't be my. Whew, how was that? Were you able to follow along? Let's do that one more time, okay? Focus, powers on. Okay. My has my. If it didn't have, then it wouldn't be my. Whew, that was hard for me. Did you see me mess up there a little bit? That's okay. But this is a fun chant that you could try over and over. That was fun. Okay. So, how'd you feel about that? What helped you play this game? Maybe think about next time, words in your head, or think of a picture. Can you see a hat in your mind? Can you imagine the number 3? What about a corner? Can you see that in your mind? Is there a song you know and can add actions instead of words? Maybe the itsy bitsy spider. Maybe you can change the actions. I know itsy bitsy this way. The itsy bitsy spider. What if we changed those words to an action like, maybe this is a spider crawling. So the crawled up the water spout. Can you think of other actions to replace the words? Try this with someone at home or try it by yourself. Remember to use your focus power to help you replace the word with an action. Okay, let's shake that off. We're going to play another game next. Do a little stretch. Our brains are working hard. Okay, this time we're going to use our remember power. Every time I say remember power, we're going to put 2 fingers from each hand to our heads like this to help us remember power. Okay, now we have 2 powers. We have focus power. And now we have remember power. Okay, what does it mean to remember? Let's see. To remember means that we're going to follow some steps or directions in an order. So when do we use remember power? Well, we can use it when we're getting ready for the day. Maybe you have chores or things to do where you are. Maybe you need to feed a pet, a dog, a cat, a fish. Maybe you need to make your bed. Maybe brush your teeth. Maybe you need to help others where you are get ready for the day. We can also use our remember power when we need to take a break from reading or we get interrupted and then we want to go back to what we were reading or what we were doing, and we need to use our remember power to go back to where we were. Maybe also we need to use our remember power when we're listening to instructions from teachers here when you join us at home with APS. Or maybe someone in your home or wherever you are, a grown-up, gives you directions and you need to use your remember power to remember what you need to do. So there are some things we can do to remember. Maybe you already do these things. We can repeat out loud after we hear something. Repeat that, right? So, make your bed. Make your bed. So I'm going to say that over and over in my head. Make your bed. Make your bed. Make your bed. We're using our remember power. Other ways we can use our remember power are maybe imagining what it looks like in our mind, having a picture in our mind. So maybe you need to use your remember power and imagine or have a picture of the words you're learning here with us at APS, at home with APS, or some numbers, counting, math, some science. Maybe you need to have a picture of what you're going to do when you wake up in the morning. I need to feed the dog. So I imagine myself feeding my dog. Or maybe you can imagine what you need to do before you go to sleep. Maybe you need to change your clothes, put pajamas on. Maybe we need to pick up around us, put some toys away. I can see that. Or maybe we need to brush our teeth. I can imagine myself brushing my teeth. We can also make up a song about what we need to do and sing it over and over and over. I need to feed my dog. I need to feed my dog. I need to feed my dog. Or maybe we can draw a picture or make a list of all the things we need to do. I could draw a picture of me making my bed, or me brushing my teeth, or me feeding my dog. And that will help me. And I can use my remember power. Okay, we're going to play a game to help us with our remember power and work out our brains. Okay. So I want to show you 3 things. Let me take out all the things from my bag first and set them aside. Okay, I'm going to get ready for our remember power game. So let's start first with 3 things. The first thing I want to share with you is my friend, Rocky Raccoon. Rocky for short. Rocky's so cute. So, we have Rocky Raccoon. This is a little friend that Miss Q made earlier this week when she read the book Spoon. Isn't he cute? I'll put this right next to Rocky here. Well, I'll hold it. And a yellow school bus eraser for a whiteboard. Okay, ready? We need to use our remember power. So, let's look at these things for a few seconds. I'll count in my head for us. Okay, next. I'm going to put these things in a bag. And we're going to use our remember power. So I put 3 things in the bag, and we focused on 3 things. I'm going to pull out 2 things, and I want to see if you can guess what's still in the bag. Can you guess what's still in the bag? If you said spoon, you're right. That's what was left in the bag. Did you use your remember power? Okay, let's make this a little harder this time. So, we're going to keep Rocky, school bus, and spoon, and I'm going to add 2 more things for us to remember. I'm going to add a paintbrush, and I'm going to add a picture of a stop sign. Okay, I'm going to hold these things up. We're going to use our remember power, okay? I'll count for us while we use our remember power to remember these 5 things. Ready? Okay, I'm going to put these things in the bag, and I'm only going to pull out 4 things, and then I want you to guess what's still in the bag. There goes Rocky, the school bus, the stop sign, spoon, and a paintbrush. Okay, let's use our remember power. Here we go. Here are 4 of the 5 items I put in the bag. Can you use your remember power and guess what's still in the bag? If you guessed a picture of a stop sign, you're right. So try this game at home. You can go up to as many objects as you can remember. You can even make it more challenging by writing or drawing on paper or cards and then covering them, because then everything would be flat. And when you pull things out, let me show you an example. Here's a worried face and a stop sign. And here's someone thinking. So you can use a bag, or you can use a pillowcase or a towel and cover these things. Now we don't know what's under there. It's all flat. And then you pull, someone thinking, stop sign. Do you remember? Use your remember power. If you guessed a worried face, you're right. Okay, we're going to shake it off. Used our brain power there. So remember, work out your brain with focus power and with remember power. Now we're going to move on and talk about safety. And safety is really important to us. So I'm going to get my picture cards ready. So I want to tell you a poem. So when you're using a computer, phone, or tablet, do you ever feel, let me find my pictures here, happy? Or do you feel blue? Maybe you feel frustrated. Maybe you feel tired or worried. So here's some new words or keywords I want us to think about. Technology. Technology is a phone, computer, or a tablet. And websites, which I'm sure you visited before at school, is a place that you can visit on the internet. But we need to listen to our feelings when we use technology, a computer, a tablet, or a phone. If we feel uncomfortable, and that means hurt or worried, we may need to stop using the technology and talk to a grown-up. Here's a poem I want to share with you. It's called Do You Ever Feel by Ren Brennan. Get all my pictures ready. Technology, it's fun. It's neat. It makes me feel really sweet. But then sometimes it makes me feel blue. Do you ever feel that way too? When I'm happy, I say, woo-hoo. When I'm sad, I say, boo-hoo. When I have feelings, I want to share them too. When I feel unsure or not okay, let me find my not okay picture. I don't know where it is. When I feel unsure or not okay, I stop and think and ask away. I find a grown-up and I say, can you help me find my way? Have you ever been somewhere new? How did you stay safe? Did you go with a grown-up you knew? Maybe you saw people and talked to people that you knew? How do we stay safe when we're on websites? Well, when we go online, and that means we're using a phone, computer, or tablet to visit a website or an app, we need to stay safe. And there are 3 rules that we can follow. We need to stop and ask a grown-up if we can go online. When we're online, we should only be talking to people that we know in the real world. Our teachers, our friends, family we know, someone you actually talk to in the real world. And then we need to stick to places that are just right for us. If you're on a website or an app that makes you feel uncomfortable, that means hurt or unsure, scared, you need to tell a grown-up. So how do we know if a website or an app isn't right for us? It might have hard words for us to read. Maybe it wants you to share your name, your address, or your phone number. Maybe you went there by accident. It has pictures, words, or videos that are for older kids or adults. Maybe it's a place that people want to chat, and that means talk to each other, even if they don't know each other. So here's some things for us to think about. We might need to stop, slow down, or go on a website. So let's go over a few examples. Ready? You went to a website today by accident, and a stranger sent you a message asking for your name and age. What should you do? Stop and tell a grown-up. Maybe you went on a funny website and even your grandma thinks it's just right for you. What should you do? Go on the website. Maybe you were searching of pictures for hearts, but came across a site that makes you feel uncomfortable. What should you do? Stop and tell an adult. Maybe you went and you visited a website about the sun because you want to learn more, but the words are hard for you to read. Slow down and maybe ask an adult for help. Your favorite TV show site has fun things for you to do. Go ahead. There's a sports site that you like to visit, but it has a chat, meaning people who don't know you and people you don't know want to talk to you. What should you do? Slow down. Check in with an adult. You're on a game site where a screen pops up and asks you for your email address. what should you do? Slow down, maybe even stop and talk to an adult. Your teacher tells you to visit a site where you can learn things about giraffes. What should you do? Go ahead. You watch a funny video, but notice the videos next to it and the pop-ups might be for big kids. What should you do? Slow down. Maybe tell an adult if you feel uncomfortable. That means worried or unsure. So let's review all the things we talked about today. We want to use our focus power, even when we're on the internet or online. We also want to use our remember power to also help us when we're online or using the computer or tablet or phone. Remember to listen to things about when you're using a computer, a phone, or a tablet, and you're on a website or an app. Think about whether you need to stop and tell an adult, slow down and maybe get help, or go on the website. And then remember 3 rules. You want to stop and ask before you go online and check out websites or apps. Check in with an adult. Then you want to make sure that you are going to places where you know people in the real world, meaning that if you're going to talk with someone online through a website or an app, you really know these people, your teacher, friends, family members that you know. We want you to be safe. And the last rule is make sure that you stick to websites that are right for you. We went through all sorts of different websites where you might need to stop, slow down, or go. So I challenge you to draw a picture of yourself following one of these 3 rules, and then explain to someone your picture. Maybe teach someone today about remember power, or focus power, or safety first on the internet. So I'm glad you joined me today, and I'll look forward to seeing you again at home with APS. Have a great day.